Welcome, good evening. You have made it to the third Doha Creatives gathering. Give yourselves a big round of applause, please. All right, we need some high energy here today. Okay, let me start by introducing myself. My name is Nabil Al-Nashar, and I will be your MC for this evening, and I'm part of the Doha Creatives team and crew. I see a lot of new faces. If this is your first time in Doha Creatives, just by show of hand, put your hands up. Woohoo! All right, that's what we like to see. All the old faces, we're still psyched to see you, but we do love the new ones. All right, let me get started right away and jump into it. First of all, we want to say welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here with us. And a big, big, big thank you to our partners. That includes, of course, St. Regis, Q Vision, and Al Rawi, our hosting partner and our media partners. Without them, this event would not be here. Without them, there would be no Doha Creatives. They were with us from the very beginning. So thank you to them, and please give them a round of applause. That's right. I want to recap real quick, especially for all the new people that are attending for the first time. This is how it works. We have our monthly gatherings, or every 2 months. We have speakers. They have very, very interesting speeches, and then they give workshops. These workshops are for free, and our last workshop was called Slack. It was by Yassine Hassanein, one of our crew members. So if Yassine is here, actually I don't see him yet, but give Yassine a round of applause for the big, impressive workshop. There he is, man in the blue t-shirt. These are some pictures from the workshop. Slack is an app that we use to get in touch with us, with each other. Think of it like WhatsApp group, but a lot more organized and a lot more professional. A lot of creative teams use it within organizations. If you're a student, it's useful. If you're an entrepreneur and starting a new business, it's useful. If you're already working within an organization, they'll thank you for suggesting it. This is the link, the short link, if you want to join us. So if real quick, before I move from this slide, you want to take a picture of it. I see some of you already bringing out your phones. You go to it, you'll apply, and shortly we'll send you an invitation, and that way you can be part of it. This is just to show you that it works on pretty much every platform you could think of: Mac, Windows, Linux, iOS, Android, and Windows Phone. There's not a device that you could own unless your phone is more than, I don't know, 10 years old that won't work this app. Agenda for tonight, to be straightforward, registration. You did that on the way in. You did the little pin in the map thing. Right now I'm doing the intro, and then I'm going to introduce our first speaker very shortly. There's going to be a game. Who here is a little competitive? Oh, right, right. Come on, don't be shy. Who's a little competitive? All right, I see some. Okay, watch them when the game starts, and watch this turn into a zoo. Okay, then we'll move on to our break. We'll have a word from our sponsors, and then we're going to talk about our first collaborative project, which is something we are very excited about. We talked about it in the last event, and it's happening. It's happening. We got a sponsor. Our idea is solid, and it's locked in. Then we're going to talk about a kitab of the month. For those of you who speak Arabic, you already know what it means. Kitab is book in Arabic, and it's our book of the month club. We're going to suggest a new book. We're going to get together. We're going to read it, discuss it, have questions about it. And then it's going to be time for our second speaker, Trina, and then there's going to be a networking session. Now, something we did last time that we were very proud of is that I challenged our crew that you guys can get us trending on Twitter tonight in Doha, in Qatar. And they didn't believe me, but you guys made it happen. So everybody right now who's on social media, I want you to use this hashtag, hashtag DohaCreatives. And I promise you, before the end of tonight, we're going to be trending on Twitter or whatever other social media platform you want to use. But if we focus our efforts on Twitter, then it will work on Twitter. And that is what you should be using generally for anything regarding the event. Now, time for us to introduce our first speaker. This is a man who is very passionate and is driven by a very strong desire to explore all forms and genres of visual arts. There is nothing that he hasn't tried, including illustration, design, 3D, wall art. He even went as far as wood burning and sculpting. He's experimented with everything. It's his first time as a speaker here, and he's part of the Doha Creative team. The man, the myth, the legend, Amr al-Sharawi. Give him a big round of applause.
Hi, everyone. Thank you all for coming. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Amr al-Sharawi. And I have been working in the advertising field as a senior art director for the last 11 years. I know most of you know what my position means, but allow me to simplify it for you. I create visual spectacles that are designed either to entertain specific audiences or the general public. Most of you know that it's hard to be on the agency side compared to the client side, specifically in meetings, but it has its benefits. And one of these benefits is that I have attended, designed, and observed hundreds, maybe thousands of presentations that are given to clients. And in the advertising field, doing a presentation is a big deal. It's a high-stakes situation. Because it depends of losing or winning your client. And many jobs, months of work depends on this presentation. So I think you can say I know a thing or two about presentations. So first thing, PowerPoint presentations have ranked the 38th, but among the most boring things in the world. Not the most boring softwares or the most boring jobs, the most boring things, which include everything. I don't know how they made this study, but they made it back in the UK. So doing a boring or static PowerPoint presentation is going to lead you either of two options. One, it's going to fall on deaf ears, and you're going to be preparing another presentation for people that are not interested or not interested to hear your presentation again. And the second option is you're going to be in the defending position. You're going to be in the presentation defending your own idea, not to mention the many interruptions. So why do I care so much about presentations? It all started back in Egypt. We were working late at the agency, and my creative director decided to order shawarma delivery. And he called the restaurant, and he insisted on talking to the chef. And he said, I want you to take your big, sharp, shiny knife and to cut through the hot, delicious shawarma in front of the flames. And just as it's sizzling hot, I want you to wrap it up in a piece of bread and send it to me. It was a very weird way to order a delivery, and we were all sitting there and laughing, hearing this call. And when I asked him why he did this call, why he did it that way, he said, this chef maybe gets hundreds of orders of sandwiches each day, and it just drops. It just becomes an order of sandwiches. And it's nice to have someone every once in a while that spice it up, that give him passion and shows him how important his job is. And that inspired me. Made me think about presentations and how we can improve it to our clients. So here, this presentation is about to make an entertaining presentation. First thing that people like is the smart facts. It's nice because it gives you the feeling of being smarter in under a minute. And people like to know where things fall in the scheme of things. Another thing is true stories. Think of a movie that based on a true story. It just gives you other people's experience, and we can learn from it. In addition to hidden secrets. People like to know secrets. They make them feel important and trusted to tell them a secret in your presentation. Another thing, which is the blunt truth, which you show that you have the guts and you can just punch the problem right in the face. And another thing about the truth is that even I'm giving this presentation and I love doing the presentation, I hate being in the spotlight, so it's hard for me to do it. So another thing, which is the process. The steps of anything is interesting, to know the steps or the action taken to make things happen and what they have been through to make it done. Like making a movie or the behind the scenes or anything related to that. It's nice to know all the steps. Last thing, which is the situation. Don't be afraid or embarrassed to show a situation or say in a situation that happens to you before, because people relate to it. Something like when you just jumped of joy because you cracked a brief and you found the idea and you found yourself sitting in a cafe or bank and people looking at you. But people relate to that. They think you're talking about a real situation and you're into it. So as I said, a presentation is like a movie. Can anyone tell me how many acts does a movie contain of? No one? Exactly, 3 acts. The first act is the exposition, which you can introduce the story, introduce the character, and the world they live in. And the second act is where you introduce the problem with all its complicated layers. And this act always finish and ends with a climax. So can anyone or who of you can tell me which act are we in this presentation? Okay. Exactly, right, number 2, act 2. And act 3, which is the resolution. The resolution is where the hero finds the answer, where he can find the solution for his problem, and the story comes to an end. So presentation should be based on these structures to be smooth, have a flow. So here is our climax, a story that happened in Egypt. We were supposed to give a presentation to our client in Egypt, our Snickers client, and it's a big deal because you know Snickers client. And the idea we had wasn't good enough. To be honest, it was very bad. And we tried to call the client and extend the presentation or push it, but not only we couldn't push the presentation, but we knew that their general manager is going to attend. And that was another big thing. And in the presentation, on the second slide, our creative director suddenly just stood up and kept screaming on the presentation. And who added this slide? You ruined the whole presentation. We didn't agree on that. And we were all thinking, what is he doing? What's happening? And one of our creative members took out a Snickers and gave it to him, saying, Hisham, you're not you when you're hungry. And we were all kept laughing. And even the client, he was so happy, and we clapped, and the presentation went smooth as butter in spite of the idea that we had. And this was a true story, by the way. So, Act 3, the presentation resolution. What can we do in the presentation to make it entertaining or nice, better? First thing, you can use nice icons. It's nice to categorize your points, and it make it attract your audience and looks better. Rich infographics. Use rich infographics and 3D infographics, because compared to the overused and static infographics, this is way much better. And simple animation. Using simple animation makes it more dynamic and interesting to see in the presentation. Another thing, which is fonts. Use as minimal fonts as you can use in the slide. A paragraph, maximum, 1 paragraph. And the font style always depends on the identity or the brand you're talking about. Bullet points should be divided each in a slide. So, about the template of the slide. Using a template, for example, something like for the Pepsi brand. When using or designing a PowerPoint slide for Pepsi, the colors that you should use should be inspired from the logo of the brand. Colors like these ones. And the elements that you can use in the design, something like this: the can, the bottle, and the cup or the splash. So if we are going to design a simple template for this slide, we can use a part of the logo, the can, and a part of the logo, and we can just add the simple animation of the soda bubbles. So, as simple as that. Other thing in your presentation you should put in your consideration is using a video or a clip that inspires the audiences, that gives them to think about your idea more and to give up another point of view or what you're saying. So you have to be passionate about designing the presentation, having energy doing it, to be able to give this energy back to the audience. So thank you so much for hearing me, and I hope I succeeded entertaining you. Thank you so much.
All right, anyone who has questions, there's time for maybe 2 or 3 questions Q&A with Ahmed, and we're gonna get the same with the second speaker as well. Who here has got questions about how to make an entertaining presentation? We're gonna have mics that pass by. We got a gentleman over there. If somebody can get him a mic.
How can you mix up the presentation in your daily routine? I mean, your daily life routine, what you are doing at work. How you can make it more interesting, gamification of your work. How does it work?
Again, because I didn't understand.
No, the idea is that you are showing us today a presentation, right? And you said that the PowerPoint is one of the boring things in the world, but you are still using PowerPoint.
Yes.
And how can you change that one? I mean, how can you use another thing which is part of your daily work and make it interesting, enjoyable?
You can use other softwares, something like Prezi, or you can use Keynote, or you can just add more layers in the presentation that you're using, something like the PowerPoint. If your presentation that you're used to be are all static, try to use more videos, try to design the templates more, use more animation, use more stuff in the presentation. Don't just talk about your idea, but talk about the flow you had and the previous experience that you went through to show this or to show the idea you got.
Okay, great, thank you.
The first thing I would like to ask you, now you showed us the presentation, but you didn't tell us you work more with graphics or content, because both are totally different things. The other thing is which software you find it more efficient and can easily send the message while you save a lot of time, and how you share it with a group of team to do a really competitive presentation.
Well, it all depends on the idea and the flow of your presentation. We're going, like I said, the movie has 3 acts, so you have to introduce what you're saying and then show the problem that you have and how you solve this problem and share other solutions. And with these, you can just add a few things that make it more and visually appealing.
You just missed the questions. I'm going to repeat it again if you don't mind.
No,
the
no.
first was about the content and the graphics, okay? So you were more focusing about the graphics or making the content for the presentation. That was the first. The second was about which program or software which you find more efficient.
Well, it all depends on you. You find yourself comfortable with using Keynote or using PowerPoint. I find myself comfortable with using PowerPoint because I know more about it and how to add some layers or from other softwares like Photoshop or something like that, and I can add files to the PowerPoint. And how to, the first question that you said is about also the flow of the presentation. What you are going to say, what is your idea about, and how you are going to show this idea in a new way.
My question is very simple. What are the 34 things that could possibly be more boring than a PowerPoint presentation?
Well, I added the link, so you can check this link.
No, the real question now. Just a small thing on the graphics versus content. Content is what Amr just said. This doesn't just happen. He just didn't show up and said everything. That's the content of the presentation. The graphics is a visual aid, so we remember what he said. And that brings me to my question. How do you rehearse your presentations, Amr? Because this is something most people don't do. And this is the key of a good presentation, in my opinion. So after you've designed everything, after you have the idea, how do you rehearse? Personally, give us your insight on that.
Okay, personally, I just draw the flow of the presentation, a sketch for all the slides that I'm going to use, how I'm going to tell the story, and how each slide can send you to the next one. So you're just writing a story, or just like a movie, as I said before. And I use what I can that can inspire from the elements I'm using. And something like the cans and stuff that for Pepsi, I can use a splash and animate it, something that gives the identity of the brand. That's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Amr Sharawi. Everybody put your hands together for him. That was a brave thing he did, getting up there and doing his presentation. I certainly wish I would have had that presentation when I was a bit younger, trying to do it at school. It is no easy feat. Now, if I can switch back successfully, yes, I can. And there's my clicker. Okay, so that was Amr's presentation, and we already did our Q&A. Oops, let me see if I can fix that real quick. Now, we're going to move on to a cool game which we have. We always try to come up with something different. And the one we have today, we've tried together as a crew. And I've got to say, it's worked quite well. Before, we had you guys try to build stuff out of newspapers, or be it a tall tower or a long bridge. Today's game is a game called Today Meets Yesterday. And how it works is simple. You're going to get, right now, our team is passing by a bunch of papers. It looks like a big stack of papers on your tables. And some of them are blue, some of them are green. Blue is yesterday. Green is today. So if you look at this one, you see that yesterday we used to do regular type shopping, and today we do, can anyone guess what this is? There we go, online shopping. Now the only thing is, in the papers you're getting, you're not gonna have the top right corner thing on the green pages saying, yeah, shopping. That's not gonna be there to help you. Another example is, yesterday, this is what breakfast looked like, coffee in a mug with a newspaper, and today it's an iPad and what looks to be a certain popular brand of ready-made quick coffee. And a third example, this is what used to be nourishing. I'm guessing meat-based diets, and today it's more gourmet-style stuff. Not that we're judging anyone. Okay, so that's how the game works. You're all going to get these stacks. Now, every table is a team, okay? Every table is a team, and how it works is as follows. You're going to try to match the blue with the green that goes with it. And whichever team does it faster is the winning team. We're going to be taking timestamps from when everybody starts together, okay? You have to put them in order. This is really important. So you'll see the blue ones will have a number on them, 1, 2, 3, going all the way to 50. You got to put them in order. You got 15 minutes on the clock, and here comes the chaos. The zoo has already started. Go! Okay, Everybody down. Everybody down. Okay. Before we go to a break and come back to have our second speaker, first we have an announcement from our hosting partners here, the St. Regis Doha. Without the St. Regis, we wouldn't have had DohaCreatives. They picked us up when we have had no events, when it was our first event, and they took us on. So we're very, very grateful to them. And all the whether you're old or new, you've been here before, if it's your first time, we all owe them. So please put your hands together for Eric from the St. Regis team. He has a little something to say. And also, they have a giveaway. They have a prize for you guys. So Eric, here you go.
Good evening. How are you? Very nice, very nice. My name is Eric. I'm from the sales and marketing team here at St. Regis. I'm here with this lovely young lady. Anne, please stand up and you can give her an applause. Very nice indeed. Yes, my name is Eric and I'm representing the sales marketing team here. We are very delighted indeed to have this fantastic collaboration. I think this is the third time we have the collaboration over the past months. And we're going to be keeping in touch in the future and we are very glad to assist. For us as a hotel, it's very important to proactively stimulate and support the local community. So we're very glad indeed and very glad to assist in the future. We're going to do a small lucky draw. We have a very nice prize. Let me double check with Anne here about the prize. Can you please specify the prize?
All right, so the winner tonight, so we're going to pick one card here, and the winner tonight will join us for the St. Regis Grand Brunch and can bring 3 of his or her friends. All right? So, Eric?
It's a very nice prize indeed. Very nice prize indeed. The brunch here is the best brunch here in Doha. I'm sure a few of you have been there already, and we are very much looking forward to welcome you back. Before, we are just also going to announce that we have a very lovely promotion for Eid. The Eid is coming the coming week. We have a nice promotion for Eid for 950 reals, complimentary 150 Qatar Real massage. We have some free breakfast, 10% discount on the outlet. So please come and join us for Eid. Let me now take a card.
Look the other way, so it's fair.
So I'm very excited. And the lucky winner is Sheila Martinez. Where is Miss Sheila? Miss Sheila. Very nice. Congratulations. Miss Sheila has won a prize for brunch for 4 persons. If you want me to attend, I'm more than glad to be there. But I'm sure you're going to have a very nice time. And it's going to give over the vouchers. And please enjoy your brunch. If there's anything else, me and Anne are more than glad to help. Please reach out. Anne will be here the whole night. And I'm sure you're going to have a very fantastic evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Eric. All right. So you guys will be getting in touch with her, I assume? All right. Okay, here's the dealio. As per our agenda, we have a 15-minute break. You can go outside, enjoy some of the snacks, tea or coffee, all provided for by our friends at the St. Regis, of course. And when we come back, we have a big announcement. We're going to talk about our first collaborative project, which we are very, very excited about, and all of you are going to be part of it, inshallah. And also, we're going to announce the winner for the actual game we just played. We just have to sift through them and figure out if everybody got it in the right order or not. And of course, our main event, or the second part of the main event today, is Trina Nielsen. She's going to be giving her presentation about networking, which is something we all come here to do. So, starting now, enjoy your 15 minutes break, and we'll rejoin back here to announce the winners and have our announcement and continue our evening. Thank you. And we thought up of the calendar. The 2017 calendar is our first collaborative project. It is going to be a 365-day calendar. Every day, yes, sir. Yes, way, yes. 365-day calendar, which that alone, how to work the mechanics of it and how it would work and to find somebody who would make it was a whole project by itself, but it's been made possible. And the idea is every day on this calendar, we'll have an artwork from one of our creative members, whether one of the people in this room right now or anybody else who has attended any of our previous gatherings or is in our database. If you're a photographer, then it could be a photo that you took. If you're an artist, then it could be something that you designed. If you're a poet, I see you back there, Abir, then it could be a line from one of your poems that maybe you work with someone else to design and write in cool calligraphy. And every day we'll have one of these artworks on them. Now, not only will this give exposure to all our creatives who participate, but it will also have your Twitter, your Facebook, or all your social media on them so that when people look at this calendar, they know exactly who you are. It's not just your name. They know how to get in touch with you. They know how to see the rest of your work. So we thought, not only is it something beautiful and cool, but it's also practical and will help all of us network better and get more exposure and be out there in the many different growing fields in Doha. Now, in order for you to be eligible to apply for this, there are some rules, one of which it has to be 12 by 12 centimeters, approximately 1,500 pixels by 1,500 pixels. So for all of you designers, you already know what that means. For those of you who aren't, we can help you along the way work on your art pieces that will be developed. Something else is that you can choose the day. Say you are very passionate about December 18th because it's Qatar National Day. Then you can say, I am choosing this day to lock it in for my artwork. You can choose multiple days. And we have a system where you go online and make that happen, which we will share on our social media. Now, there are some terms and conditions, all very reasonable, I assure you. Number one is, once you reserve the date that will inspire artwork, please send your work to team-up@DohaCreatives.com. It was on the earlier slide as well. That is team-up. If you guys want to take a picture of it right now, do it, or it will also be on our social media. At DohaCreatives.com within 2 weeks from reserving your date. Plagiarism, please do not use somebody else's work. To put it simply, it's not cool. Also, in places other than here, it's an actual crime, so don't do it. Adult content, please do not produce any artwork that contains nudity or sexual innuendos. We have to stay respectful. And last thing is violence. Please do not produce any content that incites violence, religious and racial content. Content that offends any religion or race will not be accepted. So you can send it through, but we're not going to put it on. Now, you're all very creative, and I'm sure everybody has so many different ideas. Feel free in the networking session later after our second speaker to bump ideas off of each other and see what you can come up with. So that's our first collaborative project. We're very excited about it, and it's been sponsored by McDonald's Qatar. That's what I meant by it's locked in. They're going to be printing thousands of copies of this calendar in the year 2017. And inshallah, they decided to sponsor us because they want to give back to the community. Good people, good food, and they like to see themselves as good neighbors. So they've been very, very neighborly with Doha Creatives. So give them a round of applause, even though they're not really here today. But nonetheless, in spirit, without them, we wouldn't have been able to do our first collaborative project. Something else I want to talk to you guys about real quick is Kitab of the Month. So we're going to post tomorrow on, so she asked, what's the deadline for sending a picture if anybody didn't hear her. Tomorrow, we're going to be posting on social media with all the details, not just Facebook, Twitter, everything that we're on. And you can just go to the link. It'll have extra details about how to send it, where to send it to, and all that stuff that I just talked about earlier. So by the way, our tag or our name on any social media is Doha Creatives, spelled as one word, no spaces between them. It's the same exact handle everywhere, so it's easy to find. Kitab of the Month is our Book of the Month club, and we have a new book for you guys. It's called 1001 Ways to Creativity, or 1001 طريقة للإبداع. And we decided this month that we're going to do it in both Arabic and English. We've seen demand for people saying, well, I do like coming here, and we know the events are in English, but we also appreciate doing stuff in Arabic. And this book, we chose it specifically because A, it's very creative, in case you haven't been able to tell by the name. And B, it's available in both Arabic and English. So what you can do is you can go to Jarir Bookstore, the one on Salwa Road to be specific. You can buy the book from there. The Arabic version is abundant. The English version you will not find on the shelves. So you need to go to the counter and tell them, I'm from Doha Creatives. So they've reserved a special amount for us, knowing that people will be coming from here to buy the book. Buy it, read it. It's such a fun read. It's a really easy book. I'll show you guys what it looks like. It's very small, and it's got a lot of very creative, cool ideas. So go pick it up. You can also find it on Amazon if you prefer to read on your Kindle or iPad or whatever it is. Our book discussion is going to be Saturday, the 24th of September. So you got 3 weeks to go through the book. It's going to be 7 to 9 p.m. at Cafe 999 at the fire station. If you haven't been before, welcome. You're going to really enjoy it. And just make sure that you actually read the book. Come up with a couple of questions or ideas that intrigued you while you're going through it. And of course, there's a hashtag, which is hashtag Kitab of the Month. While you're reading over the next few weeks, if you see something that interests you, if you think of a cool question, post it. And everybody who looks up that hashtag will see your question and will be able to participate with you in a discussion before the actual Kitab of the Month event happens. Now, it's time for me to introduce our second speaker. And boy, am I giddy. Okay, so this woman, Trine Nielsen, I hope I'm saying it right, is an avid event speaker. She's a professional networker and she is a brand expert. She has spoken at easily over a couple hundred events in Denmark and also here in Qatar, and she will tell you a lot about how to network properly. And she's with us here tonight. We're all very, very lucky to be in her presence. Put your hands together for Trine.
My hands full. Salam alaikum. Good evening, good afternoon, as we say in Denmark. My name is Trine, as you know, and some of you have already been giving me your business cards and shake my hand. And I have been stalking others of you and saying you have to switch your seats so you don't sit right next to your friends all evening. Some of you followed the advice and others didn't. Okay, I guess I just do like this. Yes, that's my starting point. I'm here today to talk about networking. It's something I can continue talking about for days. So I need someone to give me a signal when I'm reaching the limit. I founded a network in Denmark many years ago, 8 years ago, 9 years ago, called Women in Business. I'm a passionate networker. My partner in business at that time was also a passionate networker. And what we could see was that particular women had a big need for being together, alone. They also really love men, most of them actually, to be honest. But something magic happened when we just made this closed context for the women. They took off the uniform, not the kinky way, but actually something magic happened. They started sharing their knowledge. They helped each other in business. They actually dared to show some weaknesses. And this is not only for women. This is what happens sometimes when you actually leave your comfort zone and you open up for the box and you say, I need help. Now I'm here in Qatar, and I would like to inform you that the most powerful commercial skill worldwide is networking. All of you have heard the word. It's very rare to meet a whole group of people who actually know what it is. Many people believe that it's just showing up for the gathering and just sit and wait for someone to come and put their business cards and we can talk some business and maybe sell something. It's not. You don't even need to be here tonight to actually have a network. You all have a network. You have neighbors, you have friends. If you have kids, you have a huge network. If you do a sport, you have an even larger network. Everyone you have been talking to today could be your potential network. What you have to do when you do networking is that you have to step out and leave your comfort zone. I guess most people have had the feeling that, oh my God, I'm going to talk to someone I don't know, and maybe they will look at me, and maybe they will, oh my God, I'm probably not doing it well. It doesn't matter. When you need to have some kind of tools to leave this comfort zone. Even if you're one of the very talkative people, like I am, if you're an introvert, you need it even more. You need something you can lean on and say, this is what I'm going to do, and I will make all right. How many in this room have heard about the elevator pitch? It's actually not even as many as I thought. A very short explanation with the elevator pitch. It's a preferred tool for many professional networkers to explain within very short time everything they do. You pretend that you step into an elevator, and before you leave it again, several floors later, you have informed everyone in this elevator who you are, what you can do, and you start talking, and you talk, and you talk, and you talk, and who you are, and who you work for, and what the product is you're selling, and what your education was, and this and that, blah, 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 all the way up. And it'd say, bing. And you know what? There's no one there. Because no one wants to listen to someone who constantly talk about themselves. They usually also forget to put pressure on the words, which is actually the key words in what they're saying. They just want to squeeze as many informations into a sentence they can just spit out in this little cabinet before they leave the door and hope everyone remembers. I've heard many elevator pitches in my life. I can't remember a single one. I tried to make one myself, and I couldn't because I have too much to say. Oh, don't do that. 10 minutes, oh my God. Okay. I have too much to say to deliver it in such a short time. So sometimes it's better just to do something so people won't leave the elevator and take the stairs like these guys did. Right? You need to leave an impression who makes people interested in what you say and who you are and want to learn more. So let's do it all again. If you take the elevator pitch and transform it into an elevator impact. Let's say it's a 15-second home run. It doesn't have to take 15 seconds. But we all know the first impression, how important it is. And no, I'm sorry to say, it has got nothing to do with the brand of your handbag or your glasses or whatever. It has something to do with the eye contact you give, the handshake you give, who you are and the impression you leave in the room after a few seconds. Let's say we have 4 S's. It's the easiest way I can present this to remember. Your presentation, short, the first S. Make a short presentation. Say your name. If you want to, name your title if it's important to you. But your name, that's one of your keywords. Share. Share some good news. Share a contact. Bring something good into the conversation. It could be something you saw, or if you know people, the people you're talking to have a passion for something, start talking about it and at least show that you share the same interest. Sharing is so important. That's what network is. Show. Show true interest. Look at people and let them talk. And don't stand there just waiting for them to shut up so you can deliver what you want to say. Listen to what they say, listen to their story, and if they feel uncomfortable telling it, help them telling it. Make people feel good and comfortable being around you. Make them feel that they want to be with you. And then set up a meeting. It's so important every time you join a network event, no matter if it's a sales network, if it's a DohaCreatives network. If you're in the bus and you sit and talk to 3 different people, arrange a meeting. Give it some, how will you say, give something to look forward to for both of you when you leave the conversation. I guess your mom said it. Who have never heard this sentence before? Keep your hand down. We have all heard it. And she was probably right at the time. But what happens when mother says something to us, it gets stored in there. We remember it. It becomes some of the first coding in our microchip in here. And you know what the result is? Right? I bet you have never seen anyone lay like that on the floor. I haven't. But we have seen them. You want to see how they look like? And now, this is some kind of self-insight. Ready? Who can say they have never put head down like the ostrich guy? This is exactly what happens. That phone, the only reason for you having it for a meeting, a network meeting, is to put in a calendar. Make a selfie, a post-it, or whatever. Use it for something to establish a connection. Don't bring your phone just to sit and watch it. It's stepping back into the comfort zone. And the fact is, you will probably send a signal as you believe that, oh my God, I have a lot of friends, and see, I have friends here, and the fact is, it's not friends. Who you have around you here, that's your connections. That's people who can do something for you and are here to hear your story and are here to tell you their story. And as more you listen to their story and actually find the keywords in that and remember it, as better contact you will establish. This is a typical picture from a break. I have to be honest, this is a Googled picture. I don't know who took it, and if you know someone on it, I'm so sorry. To be honest, I think we all know some of the people in it. Let's take this guy here in the corner. Many people have been in the same situation. You're in a conference, you come alone, you don't know anyone. He probably wants to talk to someone because he actually left the menu over here, and he stopped turning his back towards everyone else, and he stands here in the open. He's looking at them, or actually probably he's looking at some spot up there and hopes someone will come and rescue him from this situation, because right now he's having a countdown. When can I come back to the conference room where someone will make sure we will be entertained? His body language shows everything. You have a coffee cup and you have a tissue, and you do this. That's what we do when we feel afraid. See, oh my God, I'm doing the same, okay. You do that. You close your body language. This is a closed group. He can't enter it. But right in front of him, you have an open group. She's probably bored, probably know them, probably came, friends. And he can just take one step forward and smile. And that's the hard part. How do you open up for the conversation? You can start with the body language. This guy in the corner, he's in the same situation, but he chooses to open up with smiling, put their hand in the pocket. If you don't know what to do with it, we all feel awkward sometimes with our hands, right? Then hide them. Put them in the pocket or in the back or whatever you like. It doesn't matter. But he's smiling. And when he's smiling the way he is, he opened up for a conversation. And he's actually standing right there, waiting for those two to stop talking, so he can enter the conversation. And they will welcome him, because it's so easy. It's one sentence. Excuse me, can I, what do you call it, can I interact? Are there a place for me? No one will say no. No one will say no, ever. It takes guts, leaving your comfort zone. But I promise you, it will be a good result. To leave your comfort zone, you need a toolbox, as I said. The elevator impact or impression will help you, but you need to bring something from back home. You need to bring your keywords. What are the 5 words I want people to remember me by? They'll probably only remember 3, maximum. But you know what they will remember? They will remember your face. So, I have harvested a lot of business cards today. I know it's a bit against the unwritten rules that we don't put our face in something, and we're not supposed to brag or this or that and Photoshop everything so people don't recognize us anyway. But the fact is, put on your face, because if you meet someone you have never met before and you don't have a key person in between you and that person, it's the best way to remember each other. When you come home, how many of you, let's make a little test, how many of you don't have a bunch of business cards with a rubber band around it? There's a reason for it, because you don't know who it is anymore. You don't know. We all know it's a good idea to get a few business cards and just get back to people again. But after 48 hours, you can't remember anymore. The face helps you remember. It gives you a little better timeline to get back to people. The calendar is because every time you join an event, don't leave it without having an appointment. Put it in your calendar. I mean, then you can say, an appointment about what? A business date about what? Well, it's not a matter of what you can sell. It's a matter of meeting someone you know you can make a difference for. One. This one person you can make a difference for will, we all know if you're out and I buy you a soda and you feel that you have to buy me a soda, right? It's the same thing. Not the fact that I arranged a meeting and I want to help you and you have to help me, but it's there. I helped you. You know I helped you. I was the good guy for a while. I maybe even invited a friend who knows something about what you don't know or what you're asking for. And I will be the extremely good guy, girl. It's all about opening up and helping each other. This person I have invited out, maybe know 100 people. If one of these persons are asking for my skills, and I'm the good guy, I'm first in line. I'm not saying I will have the job, I will have the project. I'm just saying I'm first in line. It's the first name that pops up because it did something good. So, we can all say we know a lot of people. When we join a network event, we come back home, we know a lot of people there. But it's a matter of who do we trust of them? Like. It's even fewer. It's a matter of do I like them? Do they listen to me? Do we click? Usually, if people listen to me, I click very well with them. And do I trust them? That takes time. That takes a meeting. So meet, connect, and build up the trust. It's never wasted, ever. Enjoy networking, and please remember, it shows if you enjoy. Find your way. This is few stepstones into a wilderness, a big adventure, but enjoy it.
Trine, everyone, right on time. Perfect, she nailed it. All right, now in just a couple minutes, we're gonna let you guys go off and do some real, actual life networking. But before we do that, Q&A sesh real quick. 2 or 3 questions for Trine. Who's got one ready to fire from the hip? Anybody got any questions for Trine? Ah, right here, okay. I could wait for somebody to give you a mic, but this is easier.
Thank you for the nice presentation, and it's really very valuable thing to know. It's not a question, it's just a comment. That elevator pitches remind me with a kind of situation. My office is on the 16th floor, so it takes too long to just reach it. And it's a business tower, so we are meeting a lot of people who's working in other companies in the same. I used to see someone who's really wearing very nice and hat and a papillon. No one is already putting papillon now. I think the smile, what we can add to all what you said, because the smile is opening a lot of things. He just saw me in the morning in the elevator, and he said, smile, and he said, just nice colorful scarf or whatever you are wearing. And then we started really a very good relation by seeing him in the morning, and you know that every day you are seeing this person, so it's really bright my day. So this is maybe a kind of a new communication which you can add to all your steps, to all the steps you have said already. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. They say it's the shortest distance between two people. It's a smile, and it's, you know what it is? It's international. It's the same language. You just watch the pins out there, how many nationalities we have here today. This cross all languages.
Will.
All right,
Will.
Trina, everybody.
Sorry. We have one more question.
We have
From
a,
Yassine.
okay. We got a final question.
Yeah,
From
sorry.
Yassine. He's one of our very own. I can't say no.
Thank you. My name is Yassine Hassanain, and thank you for your presentation. The question is, what do you think of LinkedIn as a networking platform? Because I have a cons and pros, a lot of stuff, but I need to hear it from a professional like you.
Thank you also for calling me professional. I like that. I love LinkedIn. It's actually the only social media link I have on my business card, if you noticed. The rest, natural. LinkedIn is not, in my opinion, a social network. It's a professional network. And there's already people in here I recognize who have tried to connect me with me in LinkedIn. And what I always do when people connect with me in LinkedIn and they don't send me an email is that I send them one. Thank you for wanting to connect with me. Can you please help me out? Where can we be good for each other? What do you need? I have always had an answer. And you know what happens? Those bloody sales agents who will give you a call the day after, they won't do it. They won't do it because twice I have experienced, actually the last month, that they will be honest and say, you know, I work for this and I would just like to give you a call, and I can say, you know, I'm so sorry. It's very interesting, I wish you all the best, but no thank you. Right? So use LinkedIn professional. It is a professional network. It's not a Facebook. It's not an Instagram. It's professional. So show the professional side and share your knowledge. I mean, that's really where you can build the trust relations, the professional trust relations. And then invite one of them out one day. It's a good idea. Was that enough?
Thank you, Trina. All right. That brings us to the very end. That was question and answers. Something we need from you guys. I got the winners, by the way, of the game right here. So we're about to announce real quick. But first, we need your feedback. This event is only going to get better, and it's as good as the feedback you guys give us. Be brutal. Tell us what worked, but more importantly, tell us what didn't work. We do better next time. About our speakers, about our style, about our agenda, about everything. We'd love to keep improving for you guys and keep expanding. We're thinking of going larger by our next event because of the numbers and the waiting list that we can get. So thank you so much. We're going to post on our social media. Survey is going to take about 3 minutes to fill out, but it helps us and it goes a long way to making them better. Are you guys ready to know who the winners are? Okay. If you think your table won, give like a yell, just to gauge. Well, these guys are kind of confident. Not so much back there. All right, give a good like, yeah, if you think your table won. Nothing here, huh? All right. Ironically, the team that won called themselves the winners. That's them right there. They won. You guys want to hear their time? 3 minutes and 21 seconds. And they only had 2 mistakes in the ordering of their of stacks. So thank you for that, and good job, guys. Well done. The winners, you knew. You saw into the future. Now you can go on to have your actual networking session, and after that, that brings us to the end of our event. Keep apprised of our social media, where we will tell you about our next future event. You know about Kitab of the Month. You know about our collaborative project. You know where to find us. I'm your host, Nabil Nashar. Have a lovely evening, and thank you so much, DohaCreatives. Thank you.